Zimbabwe Senate has begun debating the 2024 budget proposal that was presented by Finance Minister Professor Mthuli Ncube. The debate started this morning and is currently underway, with senators expected to engage until the early hours of Wednesday. The National Assembly passed the 2024 national budget with amendments following a marathon 10-hour of debate, which saw the House sitting from 2:15 p.m. on Thursday to 00:49 on Friday last week. We are now joined by our correspondent Eben Mabunda, who has been following today's debate. Eben, it's a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. What are some of the major highlights from today's Senate debate?
Well, good evening, Faith. You will find out that the key issues that were subjects of contention in the lower house, the parliament, remain the same issues that are being debated in the upper house. Of course, aspects to do with the taxes in terms of properties, in terms of the toll fees, as well as also in terms of the allocations to the different ministries and departments, particularly the health department or the health fraternity, as it were. Of course, even as in the initial budget, Zimbabwe did not meet the Abuja declaration, which states that 15% of a budget within the region must go toward health affairs, the aspect of education, as well as also, even in terms of the sports allocations in that particular regard.
Now, it is a few days until Christmas, and a number of formal retailers in Zimbabwe have increased prices in the local currency, a move which threatens to dampen their festive cheer for many consumers. Retailers are justifying these price increases, citing movements of the Zimbabwean dollar on the paro market. Our business correspondent Eben Mabunda once again gives us more on the measures that are being put in place by government to cushion consumers.
Now, ahead of the festive season, prices of basic commodities have scaled up by about 25% over the past 10 days. Meanwhile, the Zimbabwe dollar is trading at premiums of up to 45% on the parallel market, a situation which has given rise to price distortions as well as speculative tendencies.
Now, commercial cargo destined for regional and international markets are piling up at the Zimbabwean side of the Beitbridge border post after the South Africans ran out of parking space at their side of the border. Zimbabwe has since modernized its border post into 3 terminals for $300 million to have 3 terminals to cater for commercial, buses and light vehicles as well as pedestrians. The move has paid dividends, with the customs yard in Zimbabwe now able to hold up to 200 trucks at any given time. However, space remains a challenge on the yet-to-be-upgraded South African border. Truck drivers who spoke to ZTN Prime say that they had spent more than 24 hours trying to cross into South Africa.
Ya etleki nawe iri panapa ndekuti queue ndo iri kutiuraya. Ini nangu kusaidire kwangu agent wangu hana problem. Mapapers akatopera. Apa akatongomirira kuti ndidini ndipfuure border. Indakasvika pano nezuro kuma 5 am makuseni. Ndikasvikira ku round kumusoro kwe roundabout ndo kwakatangira chini line ndaedzerwa ndakatarisa tichifollowa ma instructions because hati tizokubiridzira zvokupindira.
United Nations Development Program says that despite global headwinds and impact of COVID-19, the Zimbabwean economy has shown resilience. However, he said that more needs to be done to ensure inclusive growth for its citizens. The recently appointed UNDP resident representative Dr. Ayodele Odushola spoke to ZTN Prime's Melissa Chetikobo, who compiled the following report.
Last month, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe said it will maintain a tight monetary stance as the measures it put in place to keep inflation in check are bearing fruit. The central bank slashed interest rates from 150% to 130%. But with commodity prices seen softening and Southern Africa bracing for an El Niño-induced drought, Zimbabwe's economy is expected to grow 3.5% in 2024. United Nations Development Program, UNDP, says despite global headwinds, the country has indicated economic growth.
Zimbabwean economy is one of the most resilient economies globally, because if you look at what the economy has experienced since 2001 to date, and the ability to bounce back to a level that it can be competing as one of the highest growth economy.
Various stakeholders on the Zimbabwe motorcycle circuit have expressed optimism over the future of the sport following a successful summer series which brought the curtain down on the 2023 season.
community is looking to build on the huge success of the 2023 Better Brand Zimbabwe Summer Series, which saw more than 40 international riders competing against each other at Donnybrook Park Raceway in Harare recently. Trainer Big Chitima, a former motocross rider and motor rally driver, has been working with the next generation of riders, including Victor Nyamufukudza, Kudzwai Chitsurura and Tariq Shelton, and he believes the series was just what the doctor ordered for Zimbabwe Motorsport.
More than 16 championships on the start board when you start racing. That will attract a lot more riders to Zimbabwe to want to come and compete, and it has also brought in a lot of spectators.